What is up, everyone? Kyle here. Today we're going to install the intake. Should be pretty simple. It should bolt right in. No tune required. Do have some baseline numbers for the car. Pretty slow. This is no tune required. Should just stock right up and the car should run pretty nicely. We'll see how well or how much improvement we see with this part. I'm not saying much, maybe 5-10 horsepower max. Isn't much, but we'll see if it actually equates to any type of numerical gain with times, things like that. So we're gonna get this uninstalled. Pretty simple, just unbolt everything, bolt that in, and we'll get going. So yeah, just a few bolts here. This comes off, hoses will be disconnected. This comes off and it will be replaced. I gotta take this off. First thing we'll do, just disconnect all the hoses. This one should just pop right off, there it is. This one has to be unbolted. Got some clamps here that I take off, and then also this should just come right out. There's a bolt right here that has to be undone for the air box. On that, everything just comes right out. Normal Ford fashion is just a 10 mil that goes in the air box right here. You need a little bit of an extension to reach. So the mass airflow sensor just has 2 screws. Took out real fast, you don't want to drop them. And then all this, just kidding. Looks like it is. Just pop in there, and all this just comes right out. Throttle body, free up a bunch of space here. Should look a lot better. So I'm gonna take this time to clean some things up. Obviously there's some areas underneath the airbox that you wouldn't normally be able to get to unless it was taken out. As you guys can see, pretty dirty down there. Going to wipe some of these areas up simply because with the airbox, with this new airbox going on, so these areas that aren't normally reachable, I'm going to get them cleaned up while I have everything out, so that way you don't have to worry about rust or anything like that in the future. And it just keeps the engine bay looking a little bit better. So I'm gonna get those cleaned up. I'm just gonna use some detailing spray and a rag. Some new grommets will just fit on there. It won't fit quite as tightly as it did on the other one, but it's just there to keep things from rattling around. See how easily they fall off? So make sure they don't fall off as you're putting the new airbox back in. You guys can see here, this is that little ram air intake that it feeds into. Looks like the Ford from the factory has a little inlet that feeds straight into the bottom of the airbox here. Right up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna set those in first. So that way they're in there. And I will set the airbox into them. See, box fits pretty well. Cutaways here for underneath there. So it fits basically just like factory. One thing Roush has always been good at is getting things to fit well. And that just fits straight into there. One thing I do like about this kit is things tend to screw in. So other air intake kits I've had, these you just like push in and hope it's to the best. This is actually threaded and it screws in, so that way it will not come out, and that's really nice. So I got this intake tube in. This just threads right in. This does have a grommet, however, based on my air raid kit for my other Mustang I had originally, the red one, this is much more solid. This doesn't want to move at all. The other one would wiggle, move, all that stuff. This is a much better constructed piece. So that's all in there. Now basically, it's all I have to do left. Hook everything up, put the MAF in. I didn't unhook the MAF simply because I didn't want something to happen to it. It's still plugged in. But put the MAF in with the supplied screws, and we're basically done. So this kit does come with, I guess, a reducer. So the intake tube is going to be larger than the throttle body, as you can see by this part hooks up to the throttle body end. So this in the future does allow you to go with a larger throttle body if you want to, because the intake tube is already larger. So it does have 2 bolts here. They'll just screw in here to prevent anything from moving. So this is roughly what it's going to look like. So on this, it comes with this, and it has this little plug. If it's a manual transmission car, you'll put the plug in. automatic cars will have this, and that's what this hose will hook into, just so you guys know. So if you do switch to a manual transmission, make sure you keep this little plug, because you will just plug off this one right here. There we go. Just pops right on. Okay, MAF is in there. Looks better if it's tucked underneath this little plastic front piece. Drill won't fit in there in this tight space. These are going to be your friends to get that tightened down. Nice, first try. Guys, I made a mistake. So I kept wondering why it was shifting on me so much I couldn't get to work. Well, on the factory interval, there's a grommet that goes in there that guides that bolt in. If you transfer it over, just fits right into here. It won't all, just fits right in there. It'll guide that. It'll guide this bolt to where it needs to be, so then the airbox fits where it needs to be. So it will take some finesse to fit it through. As you can see on the grommet, it's kind of, you see a thicker end, a thinner end. Just pinch it and then pull it through, and there we go. And this will just fit right into there and make it fit the way it should. Airbox is in. So far, everything looks like it's fitting a lot better. Holes don't even line up when it's out. So it's not that I can't get it, it's that these plastic holes are not in the right spot. How far off? Top one's good, bottom one's gotta go in. Okay. After 10 minutes, I think I finally got enough to get them to work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna screw them in here where I got it out of the car, and then tighten them all together once I get it in to make life easier. Right, even with these custom kits built specifically for the vehicle, sometimes things just won't fit. You gotta be willing to sometimes things won't fit, you just gotta be willing to make them fit. Don't forget to put your main bolt back in so that's got it down. Goes in. That one goes there. This hose will go back there. Intake will go, air filter will go on right there. Same type of clip. There it is, intake is on. See, looks much newer. It's an open air element intake, so not closed. That looks pretty good. Does free up some more room through there. Doesn't have that ugly box right there in the middle. Hoses get attached back. Okay guys, there it is. It is all put together. As you guys saw, there was a little bit of issues I had with it, with the kit. Even though it is a specific kit, sometimes things are just not gonna fit right. So make sure you get those holes right there to fit correctly, and then make sure you transfer over that grommet there. Other than that, fit pretty decently. I mean, it's not perfect, but it is very, very firm. Doesn't move around. My old kit on the red car would just shake and shake. This one is really, really sturdy. Seems like a nice open element kit. All I have to do left is put this on. As you guys saw, automatic transmissions, this little grommet right there, automatic transmissions will get that. If you have a manual, you'll put in this little plug. So just be aware of that. It says all that in the instructions if you guys are wondering as well. So gonna get this on, make sure clearances are good, make sure the hood's shut, it doesn't hit anything. Super excited to see if it does anything at all. Honestly, I'd be super excited if it does anything. But yeah, it's on there. I'm gonna get this thing out there and do some testing, 0 to 60, stuff like that. Nothing too extreme. We're gonna see if this is worth your money. Till the next one, see y'all soon.